right? One was in the pandemic, we already saw that many of the elderly in the community were being isolated because they relied on going to the temple to stay connected with the community. And of course, you couldn't do that in the pandemic, right? So we wanted to try and find a way of keeping close to and connected to the community, but especially the elderly, right? Co-created. So on India Independence, 75th India Independence Day, 15th of August, 2021, we launched the radio service. So we decided that was the day we're going to go launch, and we had to get a minimum, bare bones service up, right? So between a few of us, we kind of researched how to do that. Mm-hmm. So we built the base broadcasting platform. Hari developed a training program. We developed all the compliance. So we had to have, regulatory compliance so that we're not broadcasting and getting ourselves into trouble because of Ofcom regulations, because we had to comply. So all of that was done in about a 6-month period between the six of us. And we then trained our initial batch of 6 presenters. So we went live on the 17th of August with 6 presenters who were going to present shows predominantly on the weekends, but the radio service would be live 24/7, right? And so we were using playlists, we were using repeat material to go and go and make that happen. And when we went live, I can't remember the numbers, but we had about 2,000 to 3,000 listeners across the UK that were interested, and you know what it's like. You get initial interest, a spike of interest, mm-hmm. and then you get nothing, right? And people mm-hmm. sort of drop off very quickly. So we had to grow our audience. So over the following year and a half, mm-hmm. we continued to train. It took us the training was done very much as a kind of a mentoring, hand-holding exercise to help a small group of volunteers become presenters. So in that convening period, we grew to having 27 presenters, trained in batches of 6. So it's a lot of effort, you can imagine. Yeah. The team have now built over 300 shows.
Oh, wow.
300 one-hour shows at a quality which I personally would say is as good as you would get on commercial radio station. So these guys are producing very high quality content.
That's the beauty of what Rashik explained earlier, saying that we are a 24/7 radio, but we are 100% digital. We do not produce anything which goes into any sort of material, no tape recorders, no CDs, and not even memory drives. Obviously, we don't have a studio, so everything is digital. So it was interesting when we're moving to DAB platform, digital audio broadcasting, because maybe slightly off tangent, but I don't know whether you are aware of this fact, Shada, that the future of radio industry is DAB. Many years ago, UK government decided to switch off analog TV signals. So which means that all of television broadcasting in this country now is digital. Now, exactly same thing is going to happen for radio, except that radio is slightly behind on that. In fact, before COVID, Ofcom, who is in charge of administering this, were ambitious that this could be done by 2025, where they'll switch off all the analog signals and everybody will move on to DAB, digital audio broadcasting. So what it means is all those fancy FM stations, shortwave stations, AM stations, they all will be on a future date on DAB. So what we have done in Rangoli, our very first step itself is on DAB.